We did not have a Down syndrome diagnosis until 3 weeks after she was born. I declined any prenatal testing. It just wasn't an issue for me. I think personally for me, there was a period of grief of right at 24 hours. I think I cried and yelled at a lot of people. I sent emails to all my families and friends saying she was born, she was healthy, she had Down syndrome, and to please leave me alone until I contact you with further information. And everybody respected that, and it was really
Mary
great.
Beth had quite a rocky start, a very hard start. The very first ultrasound, we were told that Mary had a major malformation, that she had something called an occipital encephalocele. And basically, in a nutshell, there was a hole in the back of her skull, and all of her cerebellum grew out that hole. We were told the best option would be to terminate, and I have very strong beliefs. And for myself and my husband, it just wasn't a choice for us. And we were absolutely beyond devastated, just in shock and disbelief. But it was pretty undeniable. You could see it even, I guess I was about 3 months along when they did the ultrasound. You could tell. There was no mistaking there was something really wrong.
Was regular pregnancy with him, and everything was fine when he was a baby, and we didn't really know anything was wrong until about 3 years old, and he wasn't doing a lot of the things that the other kids were doing. And so he went through the DEC, Development Evaluation Center, and we had him tested, and they just have always told us that he's just developmentally delayed. We've done every test that you can imagine. We've done genetics testing, we've done everything that imagine. We know everything that he's not. I mean, that's not a diagnosis. So we just know that he's going to have a hard time.
Here's David on his first birthday, just real quickly. Normal pregnancy, had no clue anything was going on, didn't need prenatal testing. I was 25. Statistically shouldn't have had a kid with Down syndrome. The only inkling I had that he had something different going on is I went to a basketball game when I was like 7 months pregnant, and he did not stop moving for over 48 hours. Should have known there was a clue there. I thought he just loved sports, you know, because he came from a sports family. Normal pregnancy, everything normal, bouncing baby, 8-pound, 15-ounce boy, just like his brother, same. We had no idea anything was up until about 9 months, and he didn't start walking. And so Connor didn't walk at 9 months. I started freaking out because his brother walked at 9 months. I went to the pediatrician, Dr. Deal. What do we do? He's not walking. Well, calm down. He's not supposed to walk yet. Okay, at a year, Connor's walking, but he's not talking. His brother was talking in paragraphs by his first year. We've got it on video at his year 1 birthday party. So Dr. Deal, what do we do? He's not, something's wrong. You just feel it. Mamas, you just feel it. You just feel it. At 2.5, Connor seemed to be reaching benchmarks normally. He was reciting poetry out of his books. There's a little poem in a bug book. He was reciting it. He was dancing, very socially interactive. We had absolutely no clue. And my only knowledge of autism was the Rain Man movie. Then, about between 3.5 and 4 years old, he was at daycare. He went to a local daycare here. That Smart Start came, and they were going to test the kid's hearing. So Connor wouldn't pay attention to the people. So they waited till he was getting a drink of water when he was preoccupied with something else, and they rang a bell behind his head, like a church handbell, loud, and he didn't turn around. And they did it again, and he didn't turn around. He was drinking the water at the water fountain. And so his teacher called me and said, they did a hearing test on him, and he can't hear. And I said, bull malarkey. He sings, he does all this stuff. He's not reading lips. Of course he can hear. And she said, I know he can hear, but something's up, and we think you ought to look in. So we brought him to Western, had him tested at the DEC here, and they said his hearing's fine. His language is delayed. He had lost language. We don't know what's going on, but we want to do a series of tests with him. So we had the CARS scale done, Children's Autism Rating Scale, and he tested in the normal range, but at the low end of the normal range. So my husband got really
kind of defensive and said, he's fine. You know, he's just not developing properly. He's fine. So we said we want a second diagnosis. So we took him to TEACH, T-E-A-C-C-H. You've heard that probably. I don't know if you have or not. In Asheville. And they said, yep, he is on the autism spectrum. They didn't call it then. We sat there at the kitchen table and cried for months. We had no idea what to do. We just were clueless. Our other son, who was 9, going on 10 at the time, came in there one night and he said, why are y'all crying all the time? Why don't you do something about it? You know, and we just looked at him like, are you sassing us, boy? No, but we just, you know, like, what are you saying? And he said, you don't love him any less, do you? And that just hit a chord with us. And we said, no, of course not. You know, we love him more than life. We just don't know what to do. He said, well, stop crying every night and do something about it.